Welcome to Doctors of the Past. Today we're talking about a fascinating and often misunderstood group in ancient Egypt, dwarfs. Stick around, subscribe, and thank you for your time. In ancient Egypt, dwarfs, both men and women, were believed to be connected to the gods. They were held in high social regard and treated with dignity and respect. It's no coincidence that Ptah-Pataikoi and Bes, two of the most popular deities in the Nile Valley, were depicted as dwarfs. Bes and his wife Beset, for instance, were called upon for many daily situations and were responsible for the forces of nature, games, and music. They also protected mothers and newborns. The oldest known skeleton of a dwarf dates to the second half of the 5th millennium BC. It shows signs of multiple epiphyseal dysplasia, or short-limb dwarfism. Their high social status is clear from their burials. During the first dynasty in Abydos, some dwarves were buried in rooms next to the royal tomb of King Djet, indicating their significant importance. At Saqqara, a dwarf named Khnumhotp held the important title of Guardian of the Wardrobe. Of the 11 published skeletons, only 2 have been identified as male, 4 as female, and 5 are of undetermined sex. Dwarves were also widely represented in tombs during the Old Kingdom in Giza and Saqqara. Here, they're shown performing everyday tasks like making jewellery, carrying animals, fishing, and dancing. Their condition was a source of pride, as their representations on sarcophagi were realistic, not idealized. One of the most famous examples is the coffin of Djeho, dated between 380 and 343 BC. The coffin depicts its owner, who was likely a person with achondroplasia and stood at 1.20 meters, buried alongside his patron, Tjaiharpta. The inscription on the sarcophagus even mentions his dancing in front of Apis-Osiris. Linguistically, we also have detailed information. There are 3 terms for dwarves: den, num, and wa. Den is the oldest term, dating back to the Old Kingdom, and it referred specifically to African pygmies. The first pygmy was brought from the land of Punt in the 5th dynasty, and their presence is documented in a ritual known as the dance for the god, or at festivals for the pharaoh. Wa, also from the Old Kingdom, was a general term for short people. Num, however, is the literal word for dwarf, and its hieroglyph is a small man with short legs. This term is documented from the Middle Kingdom and is associated with magical papyri and dwarf deities. These details show how complex and nuanced the Egyptian view of dwarves was, and how deeply integrated they were into society, from religious rituals to royal courts.